Good evening, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. Today, on the 29th of March, 2024, we bring you the latest updates from the heart of an American tragedy. The Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore has collapsed, leading to a significant rescue and recovery operation. The federal government has stepped in, providing Maryland with millions in emergency funding. This funding will be channeled towards debris removal, traffic rerouting, and, most importantly, rebuilding the Key Bridge. Maryland's Governor Wes Moore has highlighted 4 critical priorities for the recovery efforts: the recovery of the construction workers presumed dead, reopening the channel to the port, assisting those affected by the collapse, and the bridge's reconstruction. Our thoughts go out to those diving into the murky conditions, their visibility limited to a mere foot or two by dense debris. The Army Corps of Engineers, in a bid to expedite the recovery process, has mobilized the largest crane in the eastern seaboard. This colossal 1,000-ton crane is expected to arrive later tonight, with an additional 400-ton crane scheduled to arrive on Saturday. Amid the chaos and uncertainty, Baltimore's Mayor, Brandon Scott, shares a ray of hope, confident that the bodies of the other workers presumed dead will be recovered. Despite the ongoing efforts being hindered due to safety concerns, once the debris is cleared, divers will resume their search for the remains. An air of urgency surrounds the need to clear the channel where the bridge collapsed. The Army Corps of Engineers, committed to the cause, will cover the full cost of this operation. The goal is to get the Port of Baltimore running at full capacity again, supporting thousands of jobs and businesses. In an effort to minimize environmental impact, over 2,400 feet of boom have been deployed to contain potential pollution. Of the 56 containers with hazardous materials that were on a nearby ship, 14 were impacted. Fortunately, air monitors indicate no detected threats in the area so far. As this story develops, we'll keep you updated on the concerted efforts by various agencies to clear the debris, recover the workers' bodies, contain pollution, and ultimately rebuild the Francis Scott Key Bridge in Baltimore. Stay tuned to Hot Topic and Fresh News for the latest and most comprehensive coverage. Hello, listeners of Hot Topic and Fresh News. I'm your host, Emily.
And joining you today is David.
We're here every day bringing you the latest updates on the top stories. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications so you never miss an episode. Now, let's get straight to the hot topics.
Let's unpack this devastating news. How did the federal government respond to the Baltimore Key Bridge collapse?
The federal government swiftly responded, providing the requested millions to Maryland officials. This funding is dedicated to cover the immediate steps of the response, including debris removal, rerouting traffic, and the eventual rebuilding of the Key Bridge.
There's been talk about 4 directives to recovery. What are they?
Yes, Maryland's Governor Wes Moore highlighted 4 main priorities. Firstly, focusing efforts on recovering the construction workers presumed dead. Secondly, reopening the channel and restarting traffic to the port. Third, taking care of those affected by the collapse. And finally, rebuilding the Key Bridge.
Can you describe the conditions under which the divers are working?
The conditions are challenging to say the least. The water is so dark and filled with debris that divers have limited visibility, often not being able to see more than a foot or two in front of them.
What about the resources being mobilized for this operation?
The Army Corps of Engineers has deployed the largest crane on the eastern seaboard to assist in clearing the channel, a crucial step to resume trade and traffic through the port. They're covering the full cost of this operation.
Any updates on vehicles or contaminants in the water?
A large vehicle has been detected underwater, encapsulated by the collapsed bridge's superstructure and concrete. Over 2,400 feet of boom have been deployed to contain potential pollution leaks. 14 containers on a nearby ship were impacted, but there's no information yet on whether any of their contents went overboard. This is a complex and multifaceted recovery operation, with multiple agencies working tirelessly to clear the debris, recover the workers, and contain pollution. It's a challenging time, but we're seeing a united front in response to this tragedy.
Is there any word on potential environmental threats following the collapse?
Air monitors are currently in place to track any potential threats. As of now, they haven't detected any threats.
What more can you tell us about the vehicle detected underwater?
Maryland State Police report that a large vehicle is completely encapsulated by the bridge's superstructure and concrete. It's going to take some time to carefully recover the vehicle.
How are they dealing with possible toxins in the water?
Over 2,400 feet of boom has been deployed to contain any pollution leaks. As for the containers on the ship, carrying items like soap and perfume, it's not yet clear if any of these items ended up in the water.
What can you tell us about the workers presumed dead?
The search and recovery efforts for the missing workers had to be paused due to unsafe debris conditions. However, once the debris is cleared, the search will resume. Baltimore's mayor has expressed hope that the bodies of the workers will be recovered and returned to their families. The situation remains fluid, with many variables at play. It's a testament to the resilience of those involved that they're swiftly addressing each challenge as it emerges. The recovery efforts are indeed an enormous undertaking. The Army Corps of Engineers is taking on the full cost of clearing the collapsed bridge's channel. This is vital, as the Port of Baltimore's functionality directly impacts numerous jobs, businesses, and even national and global trade.
What kind of equipment are they using to undertake this task?
They're moving the largest crane on the eastern seaboard to Baltimore, a 1,000-ton crane. Adding to this, another 400-ton crane is expected to arrive on Saturday to aid the operations to clear the channel.
That's quite the display of heavy machinery. How are they planning to remove the pieces of the bridge?
It's a meticulous process. Each piece of debris is being fully assessed before removal. This involves underwater surveys and engineering teams collaborating to determine how to cut the bridge into the right-sized pieces for the cranes to lift them out.
A lot of agencies are involved in this operation. How is the coordination being handled?
The Coast Guard Rear Admiral has said that the operation is being coordinated with several partners, including the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers. This kind of teamwork is absolutely crucial in a situation as complex and interconnected as this. The number one priority right now is to reopen the Port of Baltimore as quickly and safely as possible. But it's not an easy task, and the conditions are proving challenging.
What kind of challenges are they facing?
Divers are operating in extremely murky water conditions. The governor of Maryland has stated that visibility is so poor, divers can barely see a foot or two in front of them.
With visibility that low, how are they managing the operations?
It seems much of the operation is reliant on tactile feedback. In conditions like these, divers have to rely on touch more than sight. It's a difficult and hazardous situation, but they are persisting in their efforts.
It certainly sounds like a challenging operation. The courage and resilience of all those involved cannot be overstated.
We're truly thankful to all of you who joined us on Hot Topic and Fresh News today. Together, we've navigated around the day's top news story, and we hope you found it as insightful as we did. We invite you to subscribe and activate notifications so you're always in the know. Your engagement means everything to us, so don't forget to share our episodes with your friends and family, on your social media platforms, or even during casual conversations. Leave us a comment if you like what you hear.
Absolutely. And remember, we've got a new episode every day. It might be morning coffee, midday break, or late night wind down. We're here with you. Oh, and trust me, you won't want to miss out on what we've got cooking for the next few days.
We're grateful for your support and are already looking forward to our next episode.
That's right. And as we always say, Emily and David together, stay in the loop, keep your eyes on the news. Our channel's content will amuse.